welcome to the revamp of the Sit and Sit podcast. I'm so happy to be back with you today. I am the host, Millie, and tonight I have a very special guest. She is one of my closest friends. She goes by the name of Dominique Vickers. She is team lead over at the Willie Durham agency, and this month highlights Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I am pleased to welcome Dominique Vickers into the building. Hey, Dominique.
Hey, I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm so excited to talk about some life insurance,
Yes, I had to come to the right person because you and I both know as millennials, we think about life insurance, we think about our next steps, even if we're married, we have children. And I said, I got to get my girl Dominique on this podcast to really enlighten us and tell us a little bit about what you do. Now, I got to tell you, I know a little bit about you, but I know the viewers may not know who you are. So, Dominique, tell me how you got really engulfed into the insurance and marketing industry. Tell me about your journey, how you got started.
Absolutely. So I actually went to Alabama State University. Matter of fact, I went to the Alabama State University here in Montgomery, Alabama, and I actually went for marketing. Now, I didn't know really exactly what I wanted to do as far as marketing, but I've always been sort of kind of good at talking to people, building relationships with people. So marketing was just sort of kind of my go-to. Now, I never thought that I would get into the insurance field, but I was recruited from Best Buy from actually another agency, and I worked there for a couple months. I didn't quite like it, so I sort of kind of got out of it. And then my boss, Willie Durham, he picked me up maybe a year after I graduated and just showed me literally a whole new light. Like, he had such a passion and was so invested in insurance, and he just sort of kind of just showed me the route, showed me the way. And I've always been sort of kind of the type of person where it was sort of kind of personal for me, because I've been in so many situations where I felt like I had no one when I needed help the most. So State Farm motto was sort of kind of like, we're here for you. We're here for you. We're a good neighbor. We're going to always be there for you. So it really resonated with me. And I just began to have a passion for just helping others in situations where they felt like no one was there for them. So it's very personal for me. And I just built a passion for it. And I've just been there ever since. I've been with my agency for over 9 years now. So it's been an awesome journey just being there and being able to help people every single day that you go in the door.
And that is one thing that I love about you, that your eagerness and willing to help people that are in need. And I really like how you said the motto of your agency and your company, like, we're there for you, is kind of like, everything came full circle to you that, hey, I'm Dominique and I'm here for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, one thing about State Farm, we sort of kind of changed mottos throughout the years, but we're not only there for you when life goes wrong in a catastrophe, but we're also there for you when life goes right. So even if you're calling me just to make a payment and everything is good, I'm asking you and I'm chopping up with you, like, how's your day been? How's the kids? How's the grandkids? So we're there for you full circle. So that is something that's just amazing.
And I love that. I really do love that about your agency. Now, as we get into Life Insurance Awareness Month, and there's a lot of things that I don't know, as like I said, we are both millennials.
Yes.
How important is it that we have life insurance, especially for us millennials, but just really anybody? How important is it?
It is very important. A lot of people these days are talking a lot about generational wealth. It starts with life insurance. Life insurance is an investment. One thing about life is that death is certain. It's guaranteed. So if you want to help your loved ones, your family, it starts with life insurance. And where we sometimes think that we're invincible, but that's just not true. You want to get life insurance while you're young and while you're eligible, because there is a such thing about life insurance that you could be ineligible due to medical reasons and things of that sort. So you want to get it while you're young. You want to lock in that rate while you're young, and you want to get it while you're eligible.
So, what is the difference between being eligible and ineligible? Like, I don't know the difference between the two.
Okay.
So, can you like explain to us with those two terms? What's the difference?
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes due to your medical history, whether that's maybe a cancer or stroke or even your criminal history, all the way down
Ooh.
to your motor vehicle record. If you have too many tickets on your motor vehicle record, sometimes that can even make you ineligible for life insurance because you're considered high risk. So you definitely want to get it while you don't have any medical concerns, no criminal history,
Mm.
no tickets or anything like that. So most of the time, while you're young, you don't
Mhm,
have to worry about things in most situations.
mhm. So you said we should, get it while we're young. Can you tell me like an age range, a specific age range should you get life insurance? At what age?
Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily put an age on it.
Mhm,
I think that it's more about the rate when you're younger. Of course,
mhm,
life insurance is less expensive when you're
mhm,
18 opposed to 30. So
mhm.
that's why you want to get it while you're young so you can go ahead and lock in that rate at a younger age. But I think the biggest thing is just getting it while you're eligible. So again, life insurance is something that you may not always be eligible for, but it is something that you always need.
And I understand that that is something like my mom used to tell me that when I was younger going to college, you need to make sure you have auto insurance and life insurance. And I'm looking at her like, life insurance, I'm young. I ain't
Yes.
trying to go out yet.
Yep.
But you are making it like we need it young. And I'm glad
Yes.
that you really said that because, we have nieces and nephews or our own children that
Yeah.
are in that age range, like, driving like 18 and up. And should they go ahead and get life insurance even at that young age when they start driving, maybe like 18 or 19?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that most insurance companies will allow you to get life insurance as young as 15 days old. So if you can go ahead and lock in something for your newborn 15 days old, I think that you should definitely do it. There's so many policies out there that's gonna be worth so much
Mhm,
to them as they get older,
mhm,
and so many living benefits for them as they get older, which I know we'll talk about later. But as
mhm,
soon as you can get life insurance, I would
mhm.
get it. I wouldn't wait until necessarily, 16 when they're driving. I would get it as soon as possible.
And I thank you for that, for clarifying that. I do have a question. I
Uh-huh.
know we as millennials, I know for me, I'm like, well, I want to know about the term beneficiary.
Oh,
I know growing up in a household, with my grandparents, and they will always talk about their wills and their life insurance. And I'm like, beneficiary, like, what is that? So, can you explain who is considered the beneficiary? But what if you aren't married or don't have any children? Who can be considered as a beneficiary for life insurance?
absolutely. I don't think limited to a family member or child or anything like that, period. I think that it should be left to someone that you trust that's going to
Mhm,
take care of your final arrangement. So it
mhm,
it doesn't necessarily have to be a family member or a child or a loved one or a spouse or anything like that. It could be your
mhm.
church, it could be a nonprofit
Oh, wow.
organization. It could be anything like that. We've had people leave it to their pets. I mean, it's just whatever best benefits you at the time of death.
Mhm. Well, I never knew that you can leave, things to your pets. And I know we hear it a
Yeah,
lot, but I'm like, no, do people really do that? But that is really a thing that you can leave everything to your pet.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Is
Absolutely.
that
You can
something
leave their
that has
life
really
insurance
just
to whoever.
started, or that has been like since you have been in this career profession, has
Yeah.
that been ongoing, or is that just something new that the insurance agencies just started?
Yeah, see, I've only been in insurance for a little over 9 years. With my current agency, I've actually never had someone leave their life insurance to their pets, but it is absolutely possible.
Wow.
I have had people leave it to something like a church or
Mhm,
organization
mhm,
or something like that, but I've never
mhm,
actually quite encountered their pets.
mhm.
But again, it is something that can be done.
Wow. I'm just so flabbergasted because I never really, you never really think about those things. And I'm so glad that you explained that that is something like people actually, do. Can you tell me, like, even if a non-family member, if I was a beneficiary, I never had any family, can I leave it to anybody else other than people in my family, or would you recommend? I know you said earlier that leave it to someone that you trust, but what if there
Mhm.
isn't any family? What if you
Yeah.
don't have a church family? Then what can a person leave their life possessions with?
Absolutely. So, really and truly, like I said before, you can leave it to a nonprofit organization, you can leave it to a charity, you can leave it to, but you definitely want to have somebody in life that's going to handle your final arrangement. So throughout the process, when you're doing your will or
Mhm.
you're getting your arrangements together, I would look at somebody that I trust. Now, it does not have to be a family member. Again, it does not, but it definitely needs to be somebody that you trust, and that's what a will is for. So even if you don't
Mhm.
trust anyone and you don't want to necessarily have everything go to your estate, you can
Mhm.
have your will that is designed to say this amount of money goes here, this amount of money goes there. So it's other things that you can do as well to make sure that the money is paid out the way that you would like.
Okay. Okay. Now, can you explain? I know there are certain terms that you all use in your insurance agencies, and I want to make sure that I have, this right. General and non-life insurance. What
Okay,
is the difference between the two and what we should look out for?
got you. I think that maybe um I should maybe think about term versus whole. And I'm thinking that's what the question is when people say
Mhm.
non-life and life. But the difference between whole life and term life is a life policy is usually less expensive and you get a larger death benefit because it does
Mhm.
expire or it may renew at a higher premium. For
Mhm.
example, if I have a 20-year term at the age of 20 that I'm paying $20 for, at the age of 40, which is 20 years later, it may renew at maybe like a $40 or $50 premium. So
Okay.
you've been paying 20 years at $20, but now that you're older and is renewing at the age of 40, you may pay $40.
Okay.
Term life doesn't have any type of living benefits. Whole I think all right.
Okay.
I think I might have lost you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes. So, I think that we were talking about the term versus the whole life, and I don't know
Mhm.
exactly where I got cut off, but term life is something that again it renews over time, and it may renew at a higher premium. But whole life is something that has living benefits. The cash value continues to grow, the death benefit continues to grow. You do also have dividends that continue to grow. We've
Mhm.
had clients in the past that have used those dividends to pay up life insurance for their children or their grandchildren. So those
Mm.
the type of life insurance for whole life is just something that comes with benefits. But again, it all depends on what you need at the time that you need it. Because with term life, you can convert it into whole life later. So we do have definitely different options that you can choose from.
And I love hearing that because this goes into, my next question about your agency that you work for. Can you tell me what type of insurance coverages that the Willie Durham agency handles?
So we do handle a lot of insurance. State Farm is usually known for property and casualty is
Mm-hmm.
what's going to be considered auto and home insurance, renter's insurance. But we also do life insurance. We do business insurance. We do disability insurance as well. So State Farm actually has over 100 products. So I wouldn't be able to name them all, but that's just a few. I mean, we are the number one insurance company for a reason, though.
I mean, of course, because every time you turn around, you see Jake from State Farm on the
That's correct.
commercials. You getting things in the mail, everything, and that's one thing I see about a lot of insurance companies, but yours actually stands out the most because we all know that State Farm is red and white. So that is something that I always look at. I'm like, I'm always seeing Jake from State Farm, and I want to see. I hope that I will see Dominique Vickers in the next State Farm commercial, and we're gonna speak that out right now because it's going to happen. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's my friend. I see you. So
yes, red, we run through your veins, honey.
Of course. I want to ask you, what is the importance of being the first name insured on an insurance policy?
So I'm going to have to say that in a very general statement because each company has its own rules and regulations on what a first named insured mean. I would think that it just gives you primary ownership. It's almost like a primary and a co-signer on a loan. But if you want control of a policy, changes or add to that policy, you definitely want to be at least some type of named insured on that policy, because if you're not, then you cannot make certain changes and do certain things for that policy without the named insured's permission.
And that's very important because you have a lot of people that that do that, especially children now that are starting to drive. I think that is something that they need to know. The parents really need to know that. I don't think a lot of them do. I do want to ask you how essential it is to know and to have car insurance. We're in this age where there are so many accidents that happen 24/7, and I know you get calls each and every day. Morning and night, and morning and noon, and probably in the evening time while you're at work. So how important is it that we need auto insurance? Because a lot of people don't, Dominique. A lot of people don't. We go through, some people have hit and runs, and some people just don't have insurance. But how important is it to have that?
Yeah, it's definitely important to have car insurance because a lot of times, especially with millennials like ourselves, we think about the present and not the future. It only costs one accident, forbid there's a fatality or anything like that, and you lose everything, including your future. So I would definitely think that car insurance is something that you should have. You want to protect yourself and you want to protect the people in the vehicle with you as well. So definitely get car insurance. I think a lot of people mistake like mandatory liability. Well, the state requires me to have this. I understand what the state is requiring you to have, but we also want to make sure that if anything happens, you're completely covered. So it's so important to have an insurance company that you can call with trusted advisors who are going to advise you on what you need and not just sell you any product or anything. So I think that a lot of people buy car insurance on a need basis instead of actually getting it to protect them from what's unexpected.
Right. And I do agree with you. We don't think about the future. We just thinking about, the present, the now. And, I feel like that is one thing that a lot of people don't understand. And what do you think might be the biggest misconception that even a lot of younger people, especially like teenagers now, and I keep saying teenagers because they're in this age where they're out and they cause a lot of accidents, or they're involved in a lot of accidents, and they don't know anything about having auto insurance. When you get these cars and everything that are gifts from your parents or whoever, and they don't know the first thing about anything.
Yeah, I think that is just very important again to just have someone that you can call that's going to advise you on what car insurance is, what car insurance has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Car
Mm-hmm.
insurance is very broad with the deductibles, with the limits of liability. You know, for example, the state of Alabama, the minimum is 25,000 for bodily injury, and it's
Oh.
25,000 for property damage. But Lord forbid, if you total out a vehicle that's more than 25,000, then the only thing your insurance company is going to pay is the property damage up to 25,000. So what happens if you total out a vehicle that's 50,000 or 75,000? That's going to be up to you or the policy owner, which could be a parent. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if it's a teenager that's driving, like it's up to them to pay out of pocket for the remainder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's good to know because I didn't know that. You said
Yes.
some key information, even at my old age, didn't
Yeah.
know. But now I know. Thank you for that, Miss
Yes.
Dominique Vickers. Now, of course, I want to talk about, when you miss a payment. Now, some of us do have missed a payment or two in the past. So I want to ask you, what are the terms and conditions, even with your agency, if you miss a payment?
Yes. So again, that's going to be very general because that's going to be completely up to the insurance company that you have. Again, a lot of insurance companies are different, but most states do sort of kind of protect the policyholder when it comes to this situation. They do sometimes give insurance companies a time frame, whether that's 5 days or 10 days,
Mm-hmm.
to actually cancel a policy due to non-payment. So we have to give you some type of notice. Now, speaking of the State Farm Willie Durham's office, we always go above and beyond. So if a client is past due, we're calling you that day, like, hey, you're
Mm.
past due. Then we get so many notifications after that where we're texting you and we're calling you and leaving a voicemail letting you know that your payment is past due. We're sending you out letters. But again, that's very general because different companies do it different ways.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thank you for that. You heard it. If you're with State Farm, make sure you pay your stuff on time. Okay, they're gonna call you, but make sure you pay it. But we,
Yes,
we just that's something. If you have any insurance agency, but we hope that you go with the Willie Durham State Farm agency.
yes,
We shameless plug.
yes.
Um, you make sure you get your stuff in on time. All right.
Yes, that's what
So.
I want to tell you is for a policyholder to call in and say,
Mhm.
oh, your policy canceled, you're not covered. That's not a conversation that we like to have. So that's why we go over and beyond to make
Mm.
sure our clients keep their and maintain their insurance because it's that important. Because again, it
Right.
only takes one time, one
Mm-hmm.
moment, one accident to ruin everything that you worked for.
Ooh, you better tell her, Dominique, that one accident. And thinking about back then, I've been in some accidents. Even once was a hit and run.
Mhm.
Actually, 2 years ago, I think I mentioned this to you. The day it happened, and when it comes to accidents, it is a very scary time. It
It
is,
is.
all of that, and you go through the headaches like, oh, I got into an accident, I gotta pay this. Is my insurance gonna cover this? How do you keep your clients like, cool, calm, and collected when
Mhm.
things happen like this, even if they caused it or didn't cause it?
Yes, absolutely. So when a client calls in, the first thing we're going to ask you is, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes that's the first thing people need to hear is, are you
Yes.
okay? Are you safe? Everybody's fine. That's what we want to hear first. So that's our first concern. The
Mm-hmm.
second concern is what happened because sometimes when you're in an accident, law enforcement will tell you, well, you call your insurance company and tell the other party to call their insurance company and file the claim and allow the insurance companies to handle it. And that's not always, the best advice. So
Right.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
if you're rear ended, especially in the state of Alabama, most of the time you're at fault. So you definitely don't want to call your insurance company for someone else's at fault claim. You want to call their insurance company and file it under their insurance because there's no reason for you to have to pay your deductible
Mm-hmm.
and things of that sort and file it on your record when you was not at fault. So again, we're going to collect sort of kind of that information so we can again advise you on what's the best route to do. And if we need to conference you in to file a claim and get everything started so you can get your vehicle back on the road, then that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be our next step.
Okay, well, I love to hear that. I want to shift over into, another aspect of insurance that you
Okay.
all handle at your agency is homeowners insurance. I know
Mhm.
we are in the age where a lot of people are getting their homes, they're building homes and
Mhm.
everything. And I want to ask you, what are some of the things that we should consider for home insurance?
Yeah, so you definitely want to make sure that you understand your home insurance policy. It is a certain thing called replacement cost versus actual cash value. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a replacement cost policy. Also, you just want to make sure that wind and hail is covered. And then also, a lot of people get confused with homeowners insurance. Like your dwelling is covered, which is the exterior of your home, including your roof. But what policyholders do not understand is that just because your roof is 30 years old, it's not up to the insurance company to replace that roof because it's 30 years old. So we get a lot of frustration because people call in like, I had water damage. Yes, but this is a 30-year-old roof. It is up to a policyholder to maintain their home over time. So when we don't say like we're going to replace the whole roof and we're going to replace a couple of shingles, people get frustrated. But really and truly, those shingles should have been replaced 20 years ago. You just didn't
Mm,
do it. So a lot of people get frustrated with that. But policyholders and homeowners, they have to maintain their home over time. Just like if your sink is broken, you're going to fix your sink. When a
mhm,
few shingles fall off, you need to replace your shingles.
mhm,
That's just
mhm.
how it works. So, but home insurance, you just want to just definitely understand your policy and what it covers because it is certain things that homeowners policies don't cover.
Okay, okay. So what are the three things that homeowners insurance actually covers?
So there is a very broad broad coverage when it comes to homeowners insurance, but I will give you three things. So the first thing is going to be the dwelling, like I explained before. That's the exterior of the home.
Mhm.
The second thing is going to be the personal property. So if you turn that home upside down, everything that will fall out, which is mostly your personal items, is personal property, is going to cover that. And then the last thing it's going to cover is liability. Liability is like if someone's walking across your line, they hit a pothole and say, "Hey, Miss Milan, Miss Vickers, I can't go to work. I can't pay the child care. I'm going to sue you because this pothole should have been covered."
Oh,
It's going to cover
wow.
personal liability. The number one liability claim, you would not just guess. Just I would like you to guess. What's the number one
Okay.
liability claim
Okay, you got me with the
people get sued
pothole.
for? People get sued for
Oh my God.
with their home. What do you think it is?
Um, Not having their lawn cut. What
Not
is
the lawn
that
cut.
it?
No, that's not it.
Okay,
That's
let's
a good
see.
guess. It's that's a good guess though, but no.
Okay. Let's see. Gosh, what could and actually get sued for? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm thinking about a movie. Okay, so in Lakeview Terrace, he was at home, right? And he kept shining the light into the other people's window and stuff like that. Does it have something to do with like outside lights shining into somebody's bedroom or something like that?
No, that's not it. But those were good guesses. The number one liability claim we get is dog bites.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
should have known. I should have known that was something. Oh my gosh. So that is a
Yeah.
liability claim? A
Yes,
dog
if your
bite?
dog bites someone, that's a liability claim. We will pay out for it. That's why we do want
Wow.
to know. Most time when you're calling for homeowners insurance, we want to know how many dogs you get because some insurance company, if you have a vicious dog, it could make you ineligible. And then not only that, if you do have a dog, that is the number one reason why you shouldn't go with the minimum liability. You want to increase it just in case something like that happens.
Wow, I would never
Yeah,
would have guessed that a
I know.
dog bite. Oh my gosh. Because when you have neighbors, you hear them like, oh yeah, the neighbor's dog, from down the street bit me. But
Yeah,
I never knew that is a liability. And see,
you
I done learned
can.
something new. So y'all, let
Yes.
me let you know, if you got some dogs, make
Yes.
sure you get You make sure you have them on your insurance because oh my gosh, I would have guessed that, Dominique. That is good to
Yes, now
know.
don't go out there trying to get bit by no dog to file somebody on
Oh
your
no,
home insurance.
I'm not.
Ain't not for
I'm
you.
not.
Don't do that now.
No. I listen. I look. I don't want to get big. Nothing.
Okay, I don't want to get
I'm
bit
not trying to have that happen to me,
either.
but
Right.
that is so wow. I'm like literally blown away by that because I
Yeah,
never
a
would have
lot of
guessed
people
that from the
are.
beginning.
A lot of people are shocked. But yes, that is the number one liability claim with most homes is a dog bite. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, can you explain maybe three things that aren't covered by homeowners insurance?
I would say things is flood. Most
Mm-hmm.
flood policies are written by FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
And not covered under home insurance. Mold is also not included in
Oh
homeowners
wow.
insurance because mold is something that takes a long period of time. So that's not covered, as well as normal wear and tear. Again, when
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the shingles earlier, but normal wear and tear is not covered.
Wow. Not even mold is.
No,
Wow. That
because
is.
mold usually generates from water, but the water has to sit for a long period of time before mold
Um,
even occurs. So you have ample enough amount of time to get that fixed.
wow. I mean, I'm just so blown away because like during this interview, it's a lot of things that I did not know of, and I know it's some people that are still trying to figure out. You get the dog about the dog bite. Like I'm still like really reeling from that. But all of this is
Yeah,
information is very good and vital that we as millennials, anybody that will
we
be
need to
watching
know.
this needs to know.
We
And
need to
these are the
know.
talks that we have to keep having because years ago we were little kids and now we're adults that have kids and careers and we weren't even think about this when we were little, but now we are our parents now, so this is
Yeah,
the thing that we have to talk about, and I'm so
yeah.
thankful that you were able to come on my platform and just really talk about life insurance, especially with this being life insurance awareness month. Now, Dominique, can you please tell all of the viewers that will be watching how can they contact you at the Willie Durham agency?
Yes, absolutely. So we're located at 943 Northeastern Boulevard. So we are always happy to see you come in. You can call us at 334-272-9100. And I am on all social media under Dominique Vickers. So I don't mind a Facebook inbox or two. I will definitely give you a call and help you with any insurance needs that you may have.
Yes, thank you so much, Dominique. Now, Dominique, before you go, I
Okay.
always ask all of my guests that come on the Sip and Sit, what is like one of your favorite quotes that you live by that makes you keep going in your career that will help inspire somebody else?
You know what? That is a very good question because I just really don't know if I even have an actual quote that
Mhm,
I actually just live by.
mhm,
I would just tell you that I am a PPP type of person. So I just know that, if you have the right product, you have the right
mhm,
price, and you have the right people, then your career is overlasting. It's going to
mhm.
take you far. So I will just say PPP for now.
You heard that. Just have that PPP and it will take you far. And the reason why I asked you that question because you are, a successful businesswoman as yourself.
Yeah,
And I hope that your story, your journey, and just your knowledge of your career inspires someone else. So I just want to
absolutely.
thank you again, Dominique, for coming onto
Yes.
the Sip and Sit. I know you are a busy, busy woman, but
I,
thank you so much for spending just a little bit of time with your girl and coming
yes.
on here. And again, Dominique, please let everybody know again how they can contact you at State Farm.
Yes, so you can contact us at 334-272-9100. We have a staff of beautiful ladies as well as one gentleman there that is going to be there to assist you for all your needs. And we're located at 943 Northeastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes, well, make sure y'all get that insurance.
Yes.
Contact Dominique at the Willie Durham agency. She said her contact information, and when you click on this video, you can watch it again and get that contact information again. And we want to continue to support you, Dominique. So if you have anything else going on the Willie Durham agency, please let my platform know, and please let me know so we can come out and support you, and we continue to support our Black owned businesses. That's the important thing. And anything that you do in the community, you know, we are always there behind you 100%.
Yes, I appreciate you for inviting me. You know, a lot of people think that as women, especially in business, that we're too invested and we're too emotional. But I would just tell all women that that's what makes us succeed. Like, that's the one thing that men cannot do. That's why we're dominating in this sales field right now. So build off of that emotion, build off that investment, build off of who you are, and run with it, because that's going to be your key to success all day.
Amen to that, y'all. Amen. Again, Dominique, thank you so much. And thank you. This is the first, you are my first interview for the new rollout of the Sip and Sit. And I just can't thank you enough. Again, you all, this is the new platform. You will be able to go on YouTube and watch all of my videos. And there is more to come on this platform. Again, thank you so much for watching the Sip and Sit. And until next time, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.